The integration of nature and architecture is very, very important. Both of them are essential elements for our life. Normally, the architecture and nature is divided, but I like to make it together to create such a whole living environment. So that is a challenging and important philosophy of my architectural design. Our role as architects is to create such an integration of all of those kind of different elements to make it together. When you see something, you get an inspiration, you have a dialogue. In that sense, it's like the architecture museum is like a full of inspirations and expansion of your brain. And each of them has plenty of space, the volume of the space.
The Calma Museum for Architecture is a place where different philosophies of architecture can take place. The museum itself can become a catalyst for cultural change. Architects, designers, artists from different regions come to a place where they can talk about architecture and create a dialogue.
The concept of this grid proposal is creating a new typology of high-rise buildings. Finally, how many floors we have? 22 floors. Yeah. I got an inspiration from the climate conditions of this site. We try to make a nice integration with the surrounding context, like the rice field. So it is like a reinterpretation of the rice field into the architectures in a vertical way.
Museum for Architecture is a unique development on the fringe of Manila. It will be a hub for cultural knowledge, exhibitions, archiving, and extensive cataloging of the past, present, and the futures of architecture. As part of the Museum for Architecture, we will have areas that focus on elements of architecture that create a big impact in the atmospheric qualities in nature and will create new experiences in the most tactile and ephemeral in nature, such as water, light, sound, and air. The residential units is a game changer, having experiential templates, and every unit has a one-of-a-kind floor plan that will focus on wellness, cultural retreat, and power meditation. Apartment units will have onsen suites that use water as an element that relates to both body and architecture, and that the body and architecture are one with nature. And that intimacy excites us deeply.
We're here to prove that we think real estate development should be only and about architecture. I see architect as a very potent field. It cuts across culture, it cuts across technology, and it can even cut across art.
I believe the architecture could create such a possibilities to change our future if we really respect the local conditions and histories and climate conditions. Then those architectures is making the cultural identities of that place, which brings people realize our culture or our world in a sense. And I really believe in that kind of possibilities and potentials of architecture itself.